Good morning, Prop Nation. It is a Tabak and Tech Tip Saturday. Tomorrow's Christmas, so I figured I would do one Saturday. Today's Tech Tip Sunday is powered by Youngstown Coffee. This is actually the grog. This is actually the only one I drink unadulterated. No sugar, no milk, no cream, no nothing. Absolutely fantastic. Jessica just got an order in. We love the guys and gals at Youngstown Coffee, so definitely check them out. And as always, Drew Estate and Tabak Especial. Yes, God, the shortened beard, that is still weird to see, you know. I don't know. I guess I'll get used to it. Jessica wanted to try something new. But let's get right into it. We're a minute in already. I don't have a specific tip for the consumer this week. Maybe the consumer can help me this week, but I also want to help other technicians, not only in the automotive industry, but in all industries. If you're working with a consumer, their vehicle, their house, I try to always put myself, and for some, I can do that, into the shoes of the consumer, the customer. We call them the boss. The boss is always right. And little things that I have learned from the women in my life that drives them insane over the years. You know, this is decades here that I've been doing this, of when they take their car somewhere. Not with me, before me. And my daughter, she does have to travel to, when she lived down in Miami as a nurse, she had to take it into another Tires Plus or Firestone. Some of the things that aggravate them, and things that I try and do differently. Put the seat back. Put the seat back. I try and count the clicks when I get into a customer's car. Especially if it's really far forward. You can feel it. Click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I write that on my invoice. Or if it's a power seat, a lot of times I can't get in it, so I have to actually hit the power seat before I get into the car. I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then that's it. And then I never adjust anything else, just forward and back. And then I write that on the sheet. So then when I go to park the customer's car, I just hit that forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And it's almost perfect every time. And maybe nobody notices. Maybe they do notice and they haven't said anything. But I've only had 2 occasions in the last 10, 12 years where an extremely short woman comes back who worked on my car. And then I'm like, oh God, it's me. And you always hate that. And they said, how'd you get my seat back? And I go, I counted. And they made a point of saying that, thank you. I always get back in the car, and I always have to move it way far forward. And then it's a pain in the butt to get it readjusted. And I took that from, actually my ex-wife, because that was the tip she gave me so many years ago, because she's a little short. But yeah, try and put the seat back. Try not to adjust anything else. Mirrors, nothing. On a test drive, I know it's tough, and you want to adjust the mirrors so you're safe, but I do my due diligence. I move the seat back, and sometimes I gotta squat, you know, but so I can see all the mirrors, because I don't want to touch the mirrors. Especially here in Florida, you touch that rear view mirror and it busts off. Guess who's putting a new one on? You are. And then, because I know how it is when Jessica gets in my vehicle, and she doesn't have care in the world. Everything's different. And then it's like, oh, it's like you just want to get in your car and drive away. But, now I'm figuring out the mirrors, figuring out the seat, and, because not only front to back, leaning it, squatting it down, and, she likes it gangsta style. So yeah, the seat, that's a big one. And then, so that's the interior. If you do that, you're going to be good. And don't get grease on everything. One thing I stress, because over the last few months I've been the service manager at the place, the Firestone I'm working at, because of a knee injury, and we'll get filters from the guys. your cabin air filter, your engine air filter. Like, hey, this needs to be replaced. There it is. Just recommend it to the customer. And like I said, most of the time it always needs to be done. But every now and then, they get in a hurry. They look at it. Oh, it needs to be done. And I'm like, hey, filters are expensive nowadays. That filter is $65. But even if that filter is $20, I'll be like, hey, that was yours. Did you put that filter in? And then most time they'll stop and they'll look at it and like, no, and then they just put it, they'll put it back in. And it's not like they're trying to get one over on me or the customer or anything else. Most of the time it's just that they're in a hurry, and the filters get like this black coating that's on like the tips of the filters. If you imagine a bunch of pleats, they'll be like, so you look at it, oh, it's black, but then when I come and I look at it and then I do the thing, you spread the filter and like, hey man, there's still plenty of life left on that. And they'll put it back in. So no matter what you're doing on a car, always ask if it's a belt, if it's anything else, that was your car. If it was your mom's car, if it was your daughter's car, would you do that? Would you recommend it? Maybe not your wife's car. Don't say that because mechanics are, we do not work on, that belt's missing chunks. You're good. You're good, babe. See this all the time. Another year you can get out of that. But if it was a customer's car, you were like, you're going to die. So not really. We never tell a customer they're going to die. I mean, sometimes you want to when things are like really bad, like you could kill somebody. But I don't think we're allowed to say that, so we don't. Or at least I don't. Well, big thing, rotating tires. Like I said, my job as a service manager, when they get the ticket written up, I come back out and I give a secondary look and inspection on the vehicle. And sometimes I'll notice on the ground, like, hey, and they're looking at the inspection because we always notate the tread depth. So like, hey, this could really use a tire rotation. There are tires, so it's free to the customer. Customer's not going to care. And then I'll get it's not on the ticket. Didn't write it. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I know tire rotations suck. They take an extra few minutes. Tires are heavy, and nobody wants to do tire rotations, but we all do them every single day. My particular store, Tires Plus, we're like at a 99%. We rotate everything. We want to get those tires. We want those tires to last as long as possible. My store, not so much, on the rotate. But if they were your tires, would you rotate them? To keep them wearing evenly? If they're your mother's tires, your daughter's tires, would you rotate them to keep them wearing evenly? Of course you would. Take the few extra minutes. There's no charge to the customer. Just rotate the tires. And last, I want to emphasize with the technicians out there, just look at the oil sticker. When you're pulling a car in, if it's a brake inspection, if it's noise, if it's wiper blades, just look at the oil sticker. I can't tell you how many hundreds of times over the years we've had customers call up, not complaining. You could tell they're a little frustrated though. A lot of times they're like, hey, I was just in last week, had some work done. I need to make another appointment. I'm due for an oil change. And every now and then they'll be like, I wish the guy would have noticed that. And we don't. I always do. I always notate when the oil change, if it's anywhere within a couple hundred miles of being due according to that sticker, or I'll cycle through and be like, hey, it's at 20%. You just mention to the customer, hey, you're at 20%, you're at 15%. Hey, you're 300 miles from an oil change. You want to have it done while you're here today? And I can't tell you how many people are like, oh my God, thank you. I completely forgot about that. Yes, I don't want to come back next week or in 2 weeks. So we've got the seat. I know it's not something, it's going to take some while, but if you get used to it, believe me, your customers are going to be happy. The consumer, the boss is going to be happy. Don't touch the mirrors. Replacing the filter, rotating those tires, would you do it on your car? And the oil change reminder sticker. So all the technicians going into the new year, a new you. Let's keep doing what we do because as technicians we do this because we make a lot of good money doing this, and I do it, and a lot of us do it because we love what we do. We love making customers happy. We love fixing things. So all right, cats and kittens, until next week, this has been another Tabak and Tech Tip Saturday.